Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Coffee.
Hey, we're back.
Happy Monday.
Happy
Monday before a holiday weekend, though. So it's like people have probably a short week this week. A lot of people, I think, extend the
Memorial
weekend.
next weekend, huh?
Yeah, because next weekend's Memorial.
So probably people are going to take off Thursday, Friday.
Yeah. So for a lot of people, it's probably a short week. So happy short week.
Happy short week, y'all.
Something to look forward to. I don't have anything going on, though. Nothing holiday related or anything. Do you?
Nope. Nothing.
Do we have anything in the works? No.
Nope.
I stay near and dear to the home these days.
We're close to the nest.
Yeah, close to the nest. Speaking of nest,
Mm-hmm.
I can't believe we have not shared this yet with our podcast listeners because we've had a major thing going on. I find it to be major. I think it's cool. So I'll give you guys the scoop of what happened. So like a couple of weeks ago, a couple of mornings in a row, I would open the front door in the morning to go to Orange Theory, and I would see a bird in the porch, and she would fly away. And I thought, oh, that's cute. There's a little birdie in our porch. It was fine. And then the third day it happened, I thought, okay, this is weird. And I looked around like, what could she be doing? And I thought, oh, she must be coming in here to get stuff from the wreath to go make a nest. But I assumed make a nest elsewhere. I still didn't realize what was happening.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I finally took a closer look and realized that the nest she was building was actually
In the wreath.
Because did you notice, too, that she was around before we noticed the nest? Did you think, why is there a bird in the porch?
Yeah. I thought, same thing you thought, like maybe she's taking these little twigs. So we saw some twigs on the ground.
Yeah. Because the wreath is like a green wreath. And if you're listening to this podcast, you might want to check out the YouTube because I'll put some videos and I'll a few things that are going to be on today's episode. There's going to be videos about it. So you might want to check out YouTube.
You're going to show them the nest?
Yeah, but also some other topics. But yeah, I'll show you guys the nest and the eggs, and I'm going to put it up on the screen right here so you guys can see. And then it was an empty nest for a day. I think the first day we noticed it, there was 2 eggs in there.
Yeah.
And then the next day, 3 eggs. And then the next day, 4. And then the next day, 5.
There's 5 in there.
There's 5 eggs in there. And now she's incubating the eggs. So now I feel like I've learned all of this stuff about sparrows because I've been reading up on it. So she will incubate for 10 to 14 days. It's already been a week.
I showed your brother that nest when he came to clean because I was like, hey, be careful with our reef in case, just so he's aware. And he's like, he thought we put that there. It didn't look real.
It looks like one of those fake nests that you can get at like Home Goods.
Yeah.
Like a fake little birds with fake eggs inside. I don't know.
Little blue-looking eggs.
Because it's like perfect. It's so cute. And my dad, for those of you who probably don't know, because I don't think I've ever talked about it, but my dad raised birds for a while, like show birds, canaries. And so he knows a lot about birds.
Yes,
and so when I told him, and he loves this story, he wants updates on it all the time. And I showed him pictures and video and stuff. And he said that the male is nearby. And I was like, you think so? He goes, oh yeah, the male for sparrows, the male's always nearby and they protect the nest.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came home and I sat on the porch and I looked for the male, sure enough, found the male.
Yes.
He scares off the crows.
Yes. He does this crazy like little spins around.
It's called mobbing.
And he flares his feathers out.
So the male will protect the crow from predators, the nest, and then the female will actually call for him if she feels threatened by something. She'll whistle for him. So if you listen, she'll whistle and then he'll appear. It's the coolest thing ever, actually.
It's fun watching him.
It's so cool. Like even my dad told me that if there's insects around or ants or something like that, he'll come and peck them out. And he will also help incubate the eggs as well. And I have seen him in the nest.
Have you?
Yeah. He's larger and he's got more color. She's like brown in color, and I'll put a picture up of her.
He's got a red face.
And then he has like color in his face.
Mm-hmm.
And I read that sparrows, they recognize human faces. Like they actually recognize the difference between me and if the mail carrier comes.
Yeah.
And so they'll know to be like nervous or feel safe or whatever based on like, she probably already knows, okay, they're a friend, not foe.
Yes. Because we sit on the porch and she's come close. I told you I was out there the other day sitting there with the dogs. She's come close. Tip of the roof. I've seen her even go into the nest while I was sitting down. So she's getting more comfortable.
Yeah. And I think it's so cool. Like they have such good agility. Like she could fly in, slow down,
Under
and
the
like
awning.
a nice
tiny little nest.
like soft landing into the nest.
Yes, because if she comes in hot, she'll knock all those eggs off onto the
Or
ground.
crack them or something.
Yeah.
So I've been researching like what to do if one of the birds falls out of the nest, you put it back in, things like that.
Yeah.
If one dies or something happens, she'll know to kick it out of the nest.
Oh, wow.
She'll know. She'll also kick the shells out of the nest once the eggs are hatched. It's pretty cool stuff. But we actually have a wildlife conservatory and rehab center like a mile from our house. We pass it on our walk every day.
Yes.
So I want to actually, I keep forgetting, but I want to like look up the number for that just so we have it. Because if something happens, they will help the situation. They will, because these birds are actually protected. There's a federal protection for sparrows because they are part of they're actually released into the environment and to protect trees. They protect trees from certain insects that kill trees.
Wow.
So it's pretty cool.
Everything has a part to play in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
We're out walking. You see the squirrels. You see the crows, eagles. What other birds we see today that were fancy looking in that park?
What were those? Like, what did you call it?
I called it a stork. I could be wrong. They kind of remind me of that. Yeah, I don't know if it's
stork. I don't know if it was a stork.
I don't know.
But it was like following us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was interesting. I just think it's really cool. I know I've had some people on Instagram going, oh, you're not going to like it because they're going to make a lot of noise, the birds. But I have said this since I can remember. I remember even since I was like many years ago, I would always say like, the birds are chirping. Like that's a good day when the sun is out and the birds are chirping. Mm-hmm. I've always referred to that as two different things that make me happy. I love to hear birds chirping.
Yes.
And the sun being out. And like I said, my dad raised birds. We always had birds. He had like show canaries, but we also had a myna bird. It was called a myna bird. And my dad taught it how to talk.
What? What's it called?
Yeah. A myna bird. It was black and had gold on it and it talked. My dad talked to it. My dad was hilarious. So you know what he did? He was trying to teach the myna bird to talk because they talk, I guess, but you have to teach them like parrots. And so you have to repeat the same words over and over again to get it to learn the words. And so my dad recorded himself saying the words and we had a tape recorder would play it next to the myna bird. But the myna bird said hello. What else did it say? It had like maybe 4 or 5 words in its vocabulary. And it would scream like my mom. So my mom had a temper, and the myna bird would copy my mom's scream.
Really?
It was pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. Man.
Birds are like fascinating.
I know.
Birds talk. Like parrots talk.
My aunt had a parrot and talk. I remember. I was always scared of it because they're like, don't put your finger in the cage. It'll snap your finger off. But I remember it would talk.
Fascinating. I'm drinking, by the way, in case those who are watching want to know. This is a Premier protein shake with some cold brew coffee. That's like my morning thing.
Protein and caffeine.
Yeah, protein and caffeine. Can't beat it.
Nope. 2
things that are going to help satiate me.
Yes.
After my cheat day yesterday. I didn't go that crazy, but I had pizza.
No, it wasn't that bad. Pizza was good.
Pizza was good. High Five Pizza in Branham Lane.
Shout out High Five.
Delicious.
It was good.
But I woke up with my hands swollen. Oh, actually, they're coming down already. They were swollen when I woke up. I took the 1UP Nutrition water. It's called Watershed.
Yeah.
I think it's called Watershed. I took 4 of those this morning, and I'll take 4 tonight, and that'll like flush out.
It's crazy how much pizza makes you hold
water. Like my fingers on the walk this morning, my fingers were literally like little. I gave my dad sausage for breakfast this morning. My fingers look like the sausage that I gave my dad for breakfast.
Your feet swell up ever?
My feet do not swell.
You're lucky.
My hands swell.
Yeah, I know a lot of women that get their feet be swelling.
But if your feet,
I don't know personally, but from eating too much sodium or overeating.
If your feet swell, you should probably pay attention to why that's happening, because it could be like a indication of a health.
Yeah.
Just something health related, kidney, liver.
It's not good. It's funny because I feel it in my hands too today. When I put on my ring, I was like, damn, it's extra tight.
Like it was. My fingertips were shiny. They look like Prince Charles. You remember that picture I showed you of Prince Charles?
Yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen here for you guys at the coronation. His fingers were shiny.
That's hilarious.
He had like sausage fingers, literal sausage fingers.
Yeah.
I saw a medium on TikTok predict that he has a severe illness that's going to come to light here pretty soon, like it's going to be exposed, and that he was probably going to be unalive by the summer of 2024. That's what I saw a medium predict on TikTok, but who knows?
Does he or she doesn't know? They're just predicting?
They're just having a psychic prediction.
On themselves?
Yeah, they do not on themselves. What do you mean? They're
a medium.
Yeah, she's predicting, a psychic predicting on Prince Charles.
Oh, I read it wrong. My bad. I was confused for a second. I had a brain fart.
That Prince Charles
will be dead.
Yeah, so like she has a TikTok where she does these predictions, and then she stitches her old predictions that are on TikTok and shows all the ones that came true. I'll see if I can find her and put it up, because I didn't follow her, but she comes up on my Explore page sometimes.
And she said this about Prince Charles.
Yeah, so like she'll say it now for documentation purposes, and then if it truly happens, she'll stitch it later going, see, you guys, I was right, to validate her abilities.
Yeah. Because there's always going to be questions. People aren't going to be believers of mediums and psychics.
No, yeah, I think, listen, I think that the majority are frauds.
Yes. 90%
they prey upon, just like how I feel about religious organizations, I feel like mediums do the same thing. They prey upon people in their most vulnerable states, and they also prey upon people's fear of death.
Yes, they do.
And give them some hope or whatever. And I can't say that, only religions are guilty of that and not psychics and mediums, because there's bad apples in all,
of course,
walks of life.
There's frauds everywhere.
But I do believe there are some that are real. It's still the situation that I had with.
There's been some that solved like cold cases.
Yeah.
Bodies.
Yeah.
Like legit to
I know.
Cops.
And even my own personal experience with the readings I had with my mom. I mean, the psychic literally told me my dad's cancer spread when we were told he was cured. So the psychic told me before we found out
something was going on.
I
remember you mentioned that.
It prompted me
you told me that
to push the issue to get my dad to have a scan because of what the psychic said. And I didn't share that with my siblings, but because he was just going to get a blood test. And I was like, no, can we get a scan? And then the scan showed. And so the psychic, how did the psychic know? I was like, oh no, I even brushed it off because I have the reading recorded. And in the recording, I even brushed it off because I'm like, oh no, because he goes, oh, your dad who's not well, because we had already talked about it in my first reading. And I was like, oh yeah, he has cancer, but it's cured. And I wanted to move on to the next thing. And he rewinded me back. He's no, but something is still going on here. And he put his hand on his stomach. Something's still going on here. And he was right.
Yes, he was.
And I was like, it wasn't until my dad's blood work came back and his cancer markers were elevated that it made me think, oh my God, the psychic.
Yeah.
And so the doctor was like, they could be elevated still because it hasn't been long since the surgery, yada, yada, yada. We'll just retest his blood in 6 months. And I said, no, can we get a scan? Because I remembered what the psychic said.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted the scan.
Yeah.
Coincident? That's pretty dead on.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Especially after you told him, like, no, he's.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, it's not.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, like, it's not, And that's crazy.
And then we got the phone call. We're having a burrito, chips, and a margarita in Milpitas at that little
No,
restaurant.
that wasn't when we got the phone call.
Oh, that's not?
No.
Okay.
We got the phone call when when we didn't even know he had cancer at all.
Oh, that's okay.
What I'm talking about is when after he had his surgery, we knew he had colon cancer, but they thought it was stage 2. They thought they got it all. We had the oncologist appointment. They said he was cured. The surgery was curative. And then 3 months later, I had the psychic reading where the psychic said, that was in September.
Yeah.
He was diagnosed actually a year ago this month.
Gotcha.
So, that was crazy. And there was other things that were in my readings that were very spot on. But that one was like crazy.
You're not like me. You don't jump head first and want to believe something just because you want it to be true.
No.
Some people believe things just because they want it to be true. They don't really know. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
You know what I'm getting at?
Okay, because there's a lot of mediums out there that say if you want to see your loved one, if you want to see a sign, ask them for a sign. Ask them to show you pink lollipops. Ask them every day, show me pink lollipops, show me pink lollipops. Then all of a sudden you start seeing pink lollipops.
Yes.
You go into Target, pink lollipops.
Yes.
You go to the candy store, pink lollipops. That's our brain.
That's our brain.
It's called the reticular activation system.
Yes.
So the mediums they're maybe taking advantage to make themselves seem more validation and official by knowing how our brains work.
Yes.
So I don't believe in that
once.
stuff. Yeah, we've talked about a whole podcast on this.
We saw a movie on that.
So I don't believe in that stuff. If I want a sign from my mom, it's got to be something I am not looking for. That I didn't ask for, that I'm not actively looking for, like when the radio happened.
Radio, when I smelled it with you one time.
Yeah, like those are the ones that like my hair stands up. I'm not actively going to look for specific signs because then I know I will find them and they're not signs. That's the way our brain works. And if you know that about your brain, you can do some pretty amazing things. If you tap into that reticular activation system for money or for success or for a job, like I really want this opportunity, because then your brain will help you to find it.
Yes.
But don't let mediums use it to their advantage and to your disadvantage to scam you.
And that's what they say about manifestation. It's not really you're manifesting, but your brain. You're pushing your brain to get to that goal. You're motivated. So yes, you're manifesting, but you're motivated.
Yeah, but it's not like magical manifestation.
No.
Yeah.
And I close my eyes and all of a sudden it's $1 billion right because I manifested it's going to be something.
That's why you just be careful. Just like with anything, you guys, there is so many ways to be manipulated.
Man.
And you think, but how could it be? But there are so many ways to be manipulated by somebody who is crafty.
Crafty. They're good. These people are good.
They're so good. I listened to an entire podcast about a guy he had a whole business as a corporate spy. There's a huge market for corporate spies. So like Apple hires corporate spies. These big companies have corporate spies.
Spy on other companies.
Yes.
Wow.
And you'd be surprised how easy it is for these corporate spies to manipulate people into giving them information. They're master manipulators.
I believe it. For sure.
And it's just like how people get scammed just in everyday life, you know?
I'm sure they've read the 48 Laws of Power.
Yeah, they talked about that book, actually.
You know that they banned that book in prisons? Allegedly.
Because it was making people like too smart.
You know that one dude, I don't want to say who, but he's online, super successful. Yeah. 100% he uses that. I know, I read that book.
Yeah.
I know, it's good. It's all mine. It's just, inmates use it to manipulate other inmates to do things.
Yeah, it's manipulation,
yes.
Man.
They
it's
get
crazy.
These guys that go commit crimes and murders in the prison, the gangs. Like, you got to go do this dude for the cause. And you truly believe you're helping your gang out and you go do it. Like, wait a minute, bro. You know you're going to get a life sentence if you kill that inmate. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you doing it? I'm just saying.
But people can be manipulated, and people who are vulnerable or feel the need to be a part of something. That's what happens with MLMs.
Cults are the same way. Think about cults.
Yeah, I hate when I can spot an MLM because they're smart. Okay, like how it works on Instagram, like they're getting smarter. They won't just cold DM you right away with their opportunity. What they'll usually do is see what you're they'll get you into a conversation about what you're talking about. So say like I'm talking about, I don't know, protein. Then they'll maybe DM me a question about protein. What do you think of this? Or blah, 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 to try to get me. That way I've already accepted their conversation. I'm having a conversation with them. I'm more likely to see their DM.
Yeah.
And then they'll come in with some sort of opener about a product or something like that. And then you just tap on their face. You go to their page and go, oh, yeah, okay, they're in an MLM.
Yes.
But then you can, if you're smart, you could look at your history and go, oh, okay, so they started following me. Then they engaged me in a conversation about macros or something about that I would talk to them about. And then they slide in with they're taught that.
They're going for the kill.
Yeah, and they're taught that in their programs. They're taught how to do that. It's basically, like you just said, it's like grooming, but you're grooming your customers, you're grooming your clients.
Yes.
This is even done to us in business. If you have a business and you're selling things, it's how you sell things. I do not do that. I pride myself. And if you follow me on social media, I'm a coach. I'm not constantly asking for people to sign up for my program. It's there in the link. People know I'm a coach. If they're interested in working with me, they'll ask me a question or whatever, and then I'll tell them how to sign up. But if you follow me, you could probably count on one hand the times you've heard me to sign up for my program this year on my Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not constantly, hey, sign up for my program. Sign up for my program. Link in the bio. Da, 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 da. No, I don't.
Yeah.
Because I don't like that.
A lot of people
I don't like that to be done to me.
And a lot of people don't like that.
So that's not my approach. I do things differently, and I'm not going to change that because, you really should do this, like grooming. Business managers will tell you all the time, you have to pay them a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Go to someone's Instagram that's commenting on your competitor's page and then pay them a compliment so that they notice you and go to your... I don't play those fucking games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what I do?
It's just not for you.
I show my value and attract my tribe that way.
Yes.
The not people that I've manipulated into signing up for my program.
Right. It's the people that want to sign up and they want to change their life. You know what I'm saying? And they want to learn about themselves.
Yeah. I mean, if you start to learn about the different ways people get manipulated, then you think about, gosh, I'm manipulated every day by the way I purchase things or the way I, sign up for things.
Even following certain news stations, you might be like, I'm hardcore Fox, so I might be hardcore Republic, or I'm hardcore CNN. It just depends. And then you get manipulated into the politics. Then you become tribal yourself. I got to be part
I'm
of
not
this
tribal.
No.
I think that's a very
Joe Rogan
distinct
says all the time, tribal and cults.
That's a distinct characteristic of Aquarius astrology sign, not being tribal. We're like standalone. We're very independent thinkers.
We're nomads.
Yeah.
Nomad, you're a wanderer. You're like to yourself.
It's like interesting because it puts us in a interesting situation because then when your beliefs are all over the place, you don't fit in anywhere exactly.
Yeah.
Because I believe these things and I believe this. I'm very bipartisan in terms of different beliefs and things like that.
People's religion, they get bothered. You don't believe in God? And there's something that created us, yes, but I'm not going to go deep into it.
But I can have relationships with people who don't believe everything that I believe.
Exactly. And that's okay. That's what people don't realize. We don't have to be in the same belief system.
Yeah.
If you love your religion and you love your politics, stick by it.
I think it's great. Like my dad, he finds comfort in it.
Yeah. I do not. I think
he finds comfort, and I think it's great. Whatever, that's why it is good. Those are the good things about religion is if you find comfort, if it brings you comfort, then that's what it's there for. I remember telling that to my mom when.
What did she say at the end?
She said, I said, Mom, you're going to see your mom, and I told her you're going to see all the people that have passed, and she said, I hope so.
She had doubt.
And I'm like, man.
What happened to
in her dying days?
She had doubt.
She has doubt.
Because it's not.
And it broke my heart because you want her. And I was like, no. She goes, do you believe it? And I said, I do believe it. I do believe that this is not it. I do believe. I said, I believe that I'm about to suffer a lot when you're gone, but that you are going to be free.
That's what I felt about my mother. She wanted to be free. Remember? You were there. You saw it. My mother just wanted to go.
And so that's what I believe. And that's what I told her. But it made me sad that in her dying day, and my dad recently told me this. He was praying his rosary, and then he said, my mother used to pray so much. She went to church every day, prayed like my grandmother. Yeah. And he said that he asked her one time, like, what if this is for nothing? Like, what if it's not? What if, this was all for nothing, that there really isn't all of these things we believe in with our Catholic religion? And she says, but what if I have to lose?
Good point.
And I thought, that's profound, Dad.
Good point.
I was like, she didn't say, oh no, 100%. I thought, I love that she said that. Like my grandmother had the mindset to say, but I have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yeah.
And I thought that was profound because even this woman who you would have thought she would have said, I can't believe, how dare you? This is our religion. I pray. Of course, I believe 100%.
Yes.
Even she said she wasn't 100% because if somebody tells you they're 100%, I just don't believe you got to be full of crap. Nobody's 100% about anything.
Why? And you know what's funny?
You can't tell me that deep down you don't have a little bit of doubt. Everyone's human where you have doubt.
Why is that when they're alive, though? Majority of people who are into the religion, not knock them, they really, truly believe that there is a God. And then when they're on their deathbed, they have doubts all of a sudden. Hella doubts that they don't have faith in religion no more. Wait a minute, you went to the church all these years. Gotta keep your faith strong. If you've already been disinvested.
At the end, I just feel most people like, even if they don't vocalize it, because a lot of people will not vocalize it.
No, they won't.
But they're deep down, they're thinking like, man, I hope so. You know, they're scared, like never been more scared in their life, but they hope so.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say is I have beliefs that this isn't over and all of that, but I don't know for sure. Nobody knows for sure.
We don't know where this energy goes.
Nobody knows for sure.
No. People think they know.
So it bothers me when people step on a high horse and say they know for sure.
Yes. Oh, dude.
They don't have a phone call. They don't have a private number. They don't have God's cell phone number. They don't get text messages.
And not to knock nobody, but I hate when people, they think too much of themselves in a weird way. And I don't want to hurt no one's feelings or offend nobody, but God got me. Why are you so special that God got you? I'm just saying, you of the billions of people, you're the chosen one that God got. I think there is a God. He's got all of us. It's just a matter, if there is a God, who's the bad ones and who the good ones. It's going to be who goes where. I don't care if you go to church, hardcore religion. That doesn't make you a good person. Deep down, you could be a bad person. You could be just fronting. We know there's a lot of fronters.
Yeah, because I'll be honest. Like, when my mom passed, my faith really changed, and my belief system really changed. Just being a part of the process of her dying, and that to see how that happens, it just changed my perspective on things. And it just, knowing all of the really horrible things that happen in this world and to children, and I can't believe that there is somebody that answers some prayers and doesn't answer other prayers.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's what, that's what I can't make sense of. Yeah. I do believe there's a higher power, but I don't believe that higher power can control any actions. So he can't control whether or not I get that promotion. So I can't pray to him and then think my prayers were answered. Why did he answer my prayers to get a fucking job promotion, but he didn't answer Lily Sue's prayers, who has leukemia at 6 years old?
That needs those prayers.
You know what I'm saying? More. So that's where like my mind goes.
Yes.
And I'm not knocking anybody for having their beliefs. I think that if you can find comfort, listen, sometimes I wish that my mind didn't work the way it does.
Me too.
Because sometimes I rationalize things too much. And then I wish I could find the comfort in prayer, but I don't, because of these thoughts.
Yes.
Because my brother had cancer at 12 years old. Like, why weren't his prayers answered? His youth got stripped of
marriage.
Gosh, that's a loud airplane.
I know. How close is it to us? It's right above us.
That's scary.
So that's all. I don't know.
Anyways, but I don't, like I said, I don't knock anybody for their belief system, and I'm still searching.
Not at all.
I'm soul searching.
I don't want people to think that. I'm just not. It's not for me. I don't know.
I believe in being a good person, and
yes. Because how much? Let's be honest. Okay, if there is a God, or how about this? The Vatican. They're supposedly men of God, right? And I hate to say this because it's out there, but why the hell is there so many pedophiles within their church that believes in God? And that's a super sin. They'll allow it. It's weird to me. And they brush it under the rug.
We had a huge scandal here in the Bay Area. So a very prominent church.
There's a new thing they're doing in Europe. I think in Italy, is these priests now have to carry these cards, these identification cards with QR codes. You scan it, and it'll tell you which ones are registered sex offenders or not. Why the hell do they still have jobs within the Catholic Church? Why?
I don't know.
That's dangerous. You're employing a pedophile. There's children in the Catholic Church. I'm just saying. Would you employ a pedophile in your business if you knew?
No, but they'd probably ask for forgiveness, and they were forgiven.
That's a good thing, I guess. But it also blows my mind. Like, damn, they're allowing them to keep preaching the word of God, and they're committing these.
What's interesting, though, I'll tell you this. Even though, because I don't believe in like organized religions really the way they operate, and I don't.
No.
I believe in a God. I believe in God.
There's some.
But I just
super
believe,
being,
I
yes.
just have different beliefs on how it works. I don't feel like they can change things for us.
No.
I don't believe in that piece of things. That's why my belief system doesn't align with any particular religion that's out there. I'm too conflicted. But I'm not going to say that sometimes, like in church, like if I go to church because I have to, because there's some reason that I don't have those same feelings I had as a kid when I went to Catholic school. Like, there's still good feelings and good parts of it.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that make you feel a certain way when you hear a certain church songs or whatever that make you feel a certain way. I just don't believe every single thing of one particular religion. That's where I'd boil it down to.
What do we always say? We could be on this table. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I hate to repeat myself. We could be 5 of us on this table. I tell you a story.
Yeah, we just talked about that.
Yeah. By the time it gets back around 5-10 times, the story's been told 100 different ways.
So I'm just saying it's more of like, for me, it's more of just like I say, I can't just watch Fox because I don't agree with all Fox News. I can't just watch CNN. But it doesn't mean I can't glean positive things from Fox and then from CNN and then from TMZ and then whatever, right? It's the same with religion.
Yes.
There's positive things that I can get out of different religions. I just can't associate 100% with any one because I have too many conflicts about the things. Yeah. Anyways. Moving on. Let's move it on from the religion topic. Let's get on to very important things. I binge watched Selling Sunset this weekend. It was so good. So is Selling Sunset's that show on Netflix?
Yeah.
Where there's all the real estate. It's season 6. But I have to say, you guys.
That's a cool show.
Their outfits are like over the top. It's almost like a costume show. Like their outfits that they wear for filming this show is like just over the top. You know, they got ready. They took them 3-4 hours to get ready to film one scene. They're not actually living in these outfits.
I think they're going to the Met Gala or something. You're going to a real estate office.
This one outfit this girl was wearing on one of the episodes yesterday, she couldn't even sit down in it. She goes, I think this is a standing outfit. She couldn't sit down. She couldn't sit. It was not made for sitting. Yeah. It was the strangest thing. But anyways, one of the girls that's on there, she's new. And she is one of the baby mamas for Nick Cannon's babies.
Oh, really?
Baby number 8. And he's already like on 12.
He's still going?
Yeah, he's still going.
Shouldn't this be a crime? Not illegal? How many are you allowed to have?
I think you can have as many kids as you want. But she actually made a comment that was not true. I looked it up after.
That's not cool for
She made a comment that says that there's some sort of a law in California where after 10 kids, you no longer have to pay child support if you have more than 10. That is not true.
You looked it up.
Yes, there is no such law. Child support is child support, no matter how many kids you have. So that is not true. She misspoke on that. But apparently she doesn't get child support. But she does have some sort of relationship with him, though. It's like she described it as like an open relationship, and he has this understanding.
He gives her money, probably.
He said, so of course I went and did a little digging after. He said that he doesn't have any child support agreements with any baby mamas. He has, as of this quote, he had 6. I don't know if he has more than that, but I think he has multiple kids with different mamas. But he had 6 baby mamas at the time of this quote. But he said that when they need things, I provide. I've never said no. And their moms know that.
How old is Nick Cannon?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I wonder if he's going through some midlife, because I just want to know what's in his head. Like, brother, I'm not telling you what to do as a man, but dude, like, how are you going to be a father?
No, I wonder if it's some sort of disorder of some sort. It's fine and dandy when they're
42 years old.
It's fine and dandy when they're all babies, right? He's got a bunch right now. He keeps going back to back. So they're like a lot of babies. But these babies are going to become toddlers, going to become teenagers and adults. You're not going to be able to
have relationships with all of them.
No,
that's what
and
I'm
it's
saying.
sad.
It is. There's
it
no
is
way.
sad.
There's only so much time in a day.
I mean, I felt bad because the girl was like judged, on there. And she's, I don't want to be judged for how I choose to live or whatever. It's none of your business. But I do understand where other people were coming from, where it's just sad to enter into that willingly.
Yeah.
A lot of people enter into that unwillingly.
I was going to say, are these women, I'm sure they're willingly entering this.
Yeah.
What are they thinking? Like, you just want to have a baby with Nick Cannon and that's it?
I don't fucking know. And
Like,
this
you just
girl
didn't-
is like very attractive.
What nationality was she? I think I seen her.
I don't know, but she's got black hair and blue eyes. She was married to Johnny Manziel. She was like
Oh, the football player.
yes.
I remember him. He was a bust. in the
yeah. So
NFL.
she
She is pretty. I know who she is. Not know who she is, but I seen her
Bree
with him.
something. She is actually so her and Yvette, and then Telly Swift was on one of the episodes. They're all like good friends of Yvette's. Yvette is a friend
your
of
friend
mine
Yvette
from the
knows
Bay
them?
Area. She was my makeup artist years ago.
She knows them.
She knows all of them.
She's good friends with.
They're Heather, Bree, Telly. She's like friends with all of them.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's like the little connection there. But anyways, so that's interesting. But The Selling Sunset was really good. The season, super good. I binged it over the course of 2 days. Actually, I think I have the final episode to watch, but it did not disappoint.
So
Moving on to the NBA Finals game that I watched with you the other day. I just wanted to say, it was just really quickly. The commentary.
Oh.
In the commentary, live commentary, what was the guy's name?
Reggie Miller.
Reggie Miller said that his balls were sweaty.
He did.
Do you think that was? And so I recorded it, and somebody told me that they think that he said my palms are sweaty. No, because I recorded it, I put it on my TikTok, and I let the auto captions generator write out what it heard, and it said my balls are sweaty.
He slipped
because he was like saying, "I'm so nervous, my balls are sweaty."
You're not even in the game, bro. Why would you be nervous? You're retired. You're a commentator. You have no skin in the game. What would you be nervous about?
Anyways, I thought that was so funny, but I wonder if he really said palms. I don't think so. You guys let me know. Sound off in the comments. I want to know if you guys hear.
I heard balls too.
Balls or
so far nobody said nothing.
Palms. Let me pull it up right now.
Nobody has said nothing on social media about it. Nothing. I haven't seen nothing.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it. Let's see.
This is the level of competition you expect at this point in the season.
I'm having flashbacks over here, gentlemen. My balls are sweaty.
He definitely said balls. He said, my balls are sweaty.
I'm having flashbacks.
And he said I'm having flashbacks,
when he was playing in the game, and it's a close game.
Yeah. Anyways, you guys let me know. What do you think? Did he say sweaty balls or sweaty palms? My palms are sweaty or my balls are sweaty? That was pretty funny. Okay, so a quick Scandoval update. The finale of Vanderpump Rules is this week. It's a 3-parter. I have just a little bit of gossip from that. Andy did one-on-one sit-down interviews that the other cast members haven't seen yet with several of the cast members. Supposedly, there are some revelations in those one-on-ones that may change everything, may change people's perceptions of what happened, and may change people's desire to actually want to be part of the show going forward.
Really?
So there's some bombshells coming. Some speculations is it going to be revealed in those one-on-ones that Raquel also had an affair with one of the other cast members besides Tom?
There's another one coming out?
Brock. No, I'm saying, could there be? That's one of the bombshells that people are saying. Could it be that they had like a threesome or some sort of relationship that's going to come out?
Wow.
I don't know.
I don't follow it like that. You do. That's cool.
Yeah. But anyways, also, I thought of something. The most cringeworthy scene of the finale episode was at the end when Tom and Raquel were having their exchange in her apartment. It was so cringy on so many levels. There were so many things about it. And then I finally remembered that after Tom shot that scene, he threw a fit because he didn't like the way it went down and he wanted them to scrap it and he wanted to reshoot it. And the producers wouldn't let him. So he did not like the way that went down.
Which scene?
The one at the end when they were remember they were talking and he said they exchanged I love yous and all of that.
I didn't see it.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Anyway,
I just saw a part where him and his ex were arguing.
Oh, no, you didn't see this scene then.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that he actually did not want that scene to ever hit the airwaves. And now I know why, because it was super cringy. But the TikTok investigators have struck. There was something in that scene.
Always do.
Where there was a little bag of white powder on the kitchen counter. And in the scene, you see her see it and grab it and put it in her pocket.
Who?
Raquel.
Oh, Raquel.
Yeah.
She noticed it and grabbed it.
Yeah. There was in the thing. And that reminded me that Vanderpump is actually famous. That show, Vanderpump Rules, is famous for getting caught using, what do you call it? What did you guys used to call it? Miley? What did you guys used to call the...
What? Molly?
No, the Miley Cyrus. Didn't you used to call it Miley Cyrus?
Oh, yeah. People made fun of that. Yeah.
Anyways, they used to get caught with their code words. Like the whole scene years ago where they were fighting about pasta, supposedly. It wasn't about the pasta. The pasta was a code word for, and then also tampons. So there's several scenes where someone like knocks on the door, hey, do you have some tampons? And that was their code word for it. Yeah. And there's also a scene, and Tom Schwartz's bachelor party in Miami years ago where it actually caught Jax in the background doing some lines, allegedly. But I have seen the scene. It looks like it. This is all allegedly.
That whole L.A. Hollywood.
They do it a lot.
It's all cocaine and alcohol. I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. Cocaine and alcohol, and I'm sure the hardcore ones use pills or whatever, the pill addicts. But that whole Hollywood L.A. scenes are cocaine.
I feel like people cocaine that are listening to our show, they don't realize it. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was so naive to the world. I thought I did not know people do this so much.
I used to tell you.
I was like the innocent housewife. You had to tell me everybody does it, but we didn't. We actually did not. Go to the bathroom together. They're going to go do laundry. And I was like, no.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, you're kidding me.
You saw some celebrities in Miami go to the bathroom. I go, watch those girls. I ain't going to say who from the housewife show in Miami. I said,
yeah, I did.
And you had to go in the bathroom.
No, they did. I was in the bathroom and they were partaking. Of course they were. I have to say. I shall not share right now. No. Nope. I don't like to get into them. This is not that kind of salacious show. However, they were celebrities. But I didn't know. Then I knew to watch for it. You gave me that information and then I saw it all the time. But it's not something listen, I'm not pretending to be innocent. I've tried recreational things, a few things. Shrooms, smoked weed. Yeah. I've done some things, Molly. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm innocent, but that is one thing I have never done. I have never put anything in my nose.
Not my thing.
I've never done it. I don't know why the thought of that scared. To me, that felt like real drug use.
You know why? It's always scared me because I feel like this foreign powder, you're sniffing it up your nose and it's going like the way I vision it, like it's blowing all over your brain.
Yeah.
Do I really want that in my brain?
I don't know. Anyways, but it's actually very common. And it's very common because it's something that even if you're subjected to drug tests, it doesn't stay in your system very long. So professionals everywhere, I'm talking nurses, doctors, lawyers, people who have to stay up for long periods of time, people who want to sober up from over drinking. It's rampant in California, like LA.
Yes, it scares me that there's a lot of, again, I don't want to bust y'all out. Don't come for me, but I used to train a lot of nurses on as a trainer, and a lot of them party. And we have nurses friends, and they can confirm that a lot of them party. It's scary because they go to work. Are they still in that party frame, or are they professional when they're at work? Because if you're doing a lot of that shit up your nose, you can't be 100% sharp. Yes, can you survive?
Or what if they do it to get through an 18-hour shift or something?
Yes, can you drink alcohol and function the next day? For sure. But you can't go to work drunk. You're not going to be 100% sharp. You can't go hungover. Not in that environment. You have to be 100% on. You put the wrong medication, the wrong IV, you could kill that person.
But the reason why people do like cocaine, though, like I said, it's because it goes out of your system quickly. It's just like alcohol, but like they don't smoke weed because if they get drug tested, they might lose their license, right? If it's because it stays in your system.
Yes.
But they can do stuff like that because it's a half-life drug. Mm-hmm. They call it a half-life drug. It leaves your system quickly.
Yep.
And so that's scary, but it's rampant. Just so if you're listening and you think we're crazy,
do your homework.
Like I used to feel that way, like, oh my gosh, that's only for like hardcore like drug users. Nope. No, it's not. It's every Joe Schmo, Tom, Dick, and Harry.
Tech industry, is lawyers, doing that. You name it. It's all up in there.
It's just, I don't know if
it's almost mind blowing. If you found out the people that do it, you would be like shocked, but it's not shocking to us. Does that make sense?
And here's the thing that I learned about it. We actually had a discussion with a friend of ours who shared for whatever reason, it's almost like a little cult of people. Like they only will tell people that they do it to other people that they know do it.
Super facts.
Even if they are your close friend, if they know you do not do it, they will be ashamed and not share that they do it.
Yep.
They will keep that from you. I had close friends in my circle that were doing it, and I never knew. I never, ever knew because I didn't do it. They didn't share it with me that they did. And I'm glad
they're
they
afraid
didn't.
that you're going to be judgmental, probably.
Well, I'm glad because I think, I don't know. I'm glad I didn't know and didn't get influenced at some point. I'm not someone who's easily influenced, but
yeah.
I'm glad that's just something I didn't partake in.
I can attest that because I smoke weed every day and you don't do it because I do it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's in your face every day.
Yeah, and I do not. I just don't.
It's not your thing. If you want to do it, it's on your own terms because you want to do it.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I would have an itch and I would do it for a little while, but I have not done it in years.
You haven't?
No. I don't need any appetite aids. My appetite's too out of control. That's why I don't like to do it.
I need to cut it out because it does make my appetite
Anyway,
rage.
so VPR they're famous for accidentally having it in the background. I'll see if I can pop up some clips from TikTok that I find so you guys can see. And the current rumor on that is that Raquel is hiding out in Arizona, by the way, and she is pregnant, supposedly. That's a rumor, big time allegedly. But I would expect that she's probably going to come out with like...
She's hiding out in Arizona.
Yeah, our grandmother lives in Arizona.
Damn.
I would expect she's going to come out with some like cover of People magazine, some big type of thing that's meant to soften her image. Or
you know what's, I must say it, if you got to take the word down, they flag me, whatever. It's fucked up is this girl's going to paint a picture like she's the victim. That's what I feel like is going to happen. You just broke up a 9-year relationship.
Yeah.
Was it going to break up? Possibly, yes, but you accelerated it. And there's no justifying that. You accelerated it, and you're not the victim, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You know what's interesting? I think that is also going to come out is he cheated multiple times before, and I think Ariana found out about it, and she forgave him, and they decided to never speak about it so that she didn't have to deal with the public humiliation.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that. And there is a rumor that one of the people he has had something with was, I want to say, I think is a transgender. I think it's Billie Lee. She's a cast member. She used to be a man, but she's a woman.
Do you have a picture?
Billie Lee from
curious.
Vanderpump.
I didn't know this. That
she was
person was on the show?
Yeah, she was on the show for a while.
And that used to be a dude.
Uh-huh. And they have a...
Wow.
Supposedly... So there was hardcore rumors that, there's Billie Lee. But I think that Tom is fluid. I think he's openly fluid, Tom.
He seems like the type.
Yeah.
If I had to read him.
Yeah, fluid. So fluid meaning I think he is almost, they almost consider it, I guess it's similar to being bisexual, but they just don't associate with male or they don't like have feelings based on male or female. It's just
whoever did his job. I can't tell it's a man from the pictures.
And then Ariana is bisexual. That is a known thing too. So anyways, that's the scoop on that. So the reunion is a 3-parter. First part is this week. So I'm excited about that. All right. So I came across a saying, and I think that we've said this before, this statement before, and I want to make sure that people understand that I know that it is a lot more to weight loss than just eating less and moving more. I know that at the crux of it, the law of thermodynamics is you have to create a calorie deficit.
Yes.
But I think it's important to recognize that if somebody is obese, and I'm not saying this because anyone came at us or anything. I'm just saying that I just realize it's something that I want to put out there. If somebody is obese, they've gotten to a level of they're overweight, significantly overweight, and they've been overweight for a significant period of time.
Yeah.
It's important to recognize that they have a lot of systems in their body that are not functioning properly because of that long-term obesity.
Oh, I never thought about that.
So they now it now becomes more difficult for them to lose weight because they're not trying to lose weight on a machine that's optimized. They're trying to lose weight. It's like trying to drive cross country in a clunker. Right?
It's like trying to drive right now in 2023 a 70s car across the country, risking
Right.
rolling the dice. You're probably not going to get there. It's probably going to break
Right.
down. Sure.
So you
It's
got to
gonna
think if
overheat.
somebody is at that level of obesity,
That's
which
a
is
good way.
why it's so important to, you know why I'm bringing this up? Because I get so freaking irritated when people get mad that people want to use medications to lose weight. They talk so much
Yes.
shit about it. Because I see a lot. People say, just exercise, eat less, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
Easier
do you
said than done.
understand that they're past that point?
Way past that point.
They're past that point. They're obese. It's not as simple anymore. Now they have issues. They have insulin resistance. They have leptin resistance. Their machine is not optimized.
No. That's why you have to start with baby steps. What do? Those big, massive people. I'm talking about the 500-600 pounders.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do for exercise? Just get up and move. There's no getting up and exercise.
Yeah,
Just
so
get
like-
up and just moving around a little bit.
In my 600-pound life, they don't give them a resistance training program.
No.
They just say, just move
Just
your
get
body.
off the bed
And if they
start
can't get
walking
up,
to the kitchen and back.
Before they can get up, it's
Yeah.
move your arms.
Yes.
Do this like
Yes.
an hour a day. Do that literally.
Something. You have to do something.
That's how slow they start. So you
Yes.
have to start where you are. So I just want to say, can we stop saying that? Stop going on people's posts about Ozempic or whatever and making your ignorant comments
Yeah.
that just eat less and move more,
Yeah.
because it's not that simple when you have been obese and you are obese and your machine is not optimized for weight loss any longer.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that simple, and it just is irritating. And that's why these medications can really help, because you got to think like even something as simple as leptin. So leptin is the hormone that our body that controls the fat storage.
Yeah.
But when you become desensitized to it,
Mm-hmm.
then your fat storage is not going to be optimized, right?
Yeah.
It's like insulin, same thing. That's why insulin resistance leads to diabetes.
Facts. That's what happened to my mother.
Exactly. So I think it's just important to realize, and it's not just about willpower either, because you got to think leptin controls how full you feel. Leptin kind of controls your ability to stop eating. It tells you you're full, like you've got enough. And if you are desensitized to it, then you don't know to stop. Your hunger doesn't get control. It's very difficult to control your hunger. And it's not as simple as having willpower. It's like if your appetite's like on overdrive. And that's why these medications that help control your appetite, like they make all the difference. And that's why they're so effective.
Yeah. That same thing. But I've always my complaint about the doctors. You go to the doctors, they give you a medication. Doctor, what do I do to get healthy? Diet and exercise. Oh, wow. Thank you for the help. You gave me 2 words. Okay, where do I start? That's the problem. Is just through a diet and exercise.
Yeah,
First off,
like-
people don't know how to people who don't exercise or never have. You're not intimidated as going to the gym.
Yeah.
Let me just imagine this. Let's go swimming, you guys. Cool. We're gonna pull out to the ocean. We're all gonna jump off the boat. Hold on, I don't know how to swim in the ocean. Same thing in the
Yeah.
gym. They don't know what to do. It's scary. They see these people
Yeah.
working out in shape. That's
Yeah.
intimidating to them.
I
was a
remember I
trainer.
used to be afraid to go to the
And
gym.
I remember I used to say the cardio zone was the swimming
Safe
pool.
zone.
The safe zone. I always say women always
kiddie
go to the
pool.
cardio zone, and the free weights and the weights. That's the deep end of the pool.
Yeah.
But it's no longer that way. You see a lot of strong women working out. They're no
No.
longer intimidated or afraid. It's a different era.
Yeah.
But for people who've never exercised or obese people who think everybody's looking at them because they're coming to the gym,
Yeah.
they're intimidated. They're
Yeah.
embarrassed. They're shy.
Mhm.
You got to give
And they're embarrassed because they think that people are looking at them. What are you doing here?
No one's looking at you. I
No,
see
they're-
obese people at the gym. I don't look at them.
Everybody's
I applaud
thinking
them.
about
They're there.
themselves.
Yes.
Trust me. Nobody cares that much about other people.
That's the problem with humans. They always think people are worried about them. No, they're not. No, I'm in the gym. I'm not. I see people. I notice people, but I'm
Unless
not
you're
worried about what
on
they're doing.
social media. For whatever reason, on social media, suddenly everybody cares. Everyone has an
Right?
opinion.
Always.
Everybody cares. And it does irritate me to no end when someone comments and says they just need to eat less and exercise.
Yeah. How about
like-
you do it? Exactly. It's always people who spew advice that don't even follow their own advice, but they have something to say.
I just thought it was an
Always.
interesting perspective to think about it like this. So I like to help people try to understand things sometimes. That's what can give you empathy. Is sometimes when people say those things, you think, yeah, for me, if I ate less and pumped up my steps a little more and ate a little less this week, I'm going to lose weight pretty easily. But for somebody their machine is not running well,
Yes.
doesn't work so easily like
No.
that, because some of those processes that help have been broken down.
Yeah. So if you're operating at, let's just say, 100%, your frame, your body, your machine. If I had to guess, an obese person, especially a morbidly obese person, maybe 10%.
Yeah.
Maybe. They don't use what they're supposed to. They're sitting around all the time.
Yeah, and the tips and tricks that you give someone, maybe they don't work for someone who's obese. If you say, oh, eat some extra protein or then you're going to feel full. No, because they have that leptin resistance.
Mm-hmm.
They have insulin resistance. So it's not as easy. They're not going to feel that way. They're still going to be hungry AF, even if they ate that or whatever. They're still going to be super hungry.
I've seen you watching that show, and I get disgusted because it's just the amount of food they have to eat just to satisfy themselves is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, that's all poison, dude. But hey, it is what it is. It's an addiction.
Oh, yeah. That level, you're talking about my 600-pound life?
Yeah.
Yeah, that level is a totally different level.
Yes.
That's like,
it's almost hard to
you're
come back
dealing
from.
with things. It's just there's a lot of psychological. It's really more psychological.
Yes.
But what I have learned by watching that show is the basics do work, even for them who are really broken down significantly. The basics do work. The problem doesn't lie in whether or not the basics work. We know this. We know this time and time again. If you eat less and you move more, it does work for weight loss. Then why aren't people successful? Because it's not about that. It's about the behaviors, the mental barriers, the addictions, the reasons you're eating, all of those things. If you don't address those things, then even if you're able to lose the weight with the basics, it'll come back.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you could just lock everybody into a house like they did on Biggest Loser for a few months, get the weight off, and then cool, let's lock that in. I actually had a client ask me, and she's probably listening to this podcast, but she said, hey, so like I was told that when I come off of Ozempic or before I come off, I should do like a maintenance phase for a while so that I could lock in my set point. I'm like, who told you that? Who told you that? Is your clinic telling you that? It's sad because it's just not true. You cannot lock in a set point. It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
Boy, I wish you could put the stake in the ground and be like,
make it sound
done.
so good though, huh? Make it sound so good and easy. Lock it in.
You can't. You lock it in. Now, what you're actually doing is if you stay at a certain weight for a long period of time, the longer the better.
Yes.
It means that you have now created habits, routine, and a lifestyle to support that exact weight that you are. And so that's why it's easier to stay there because your habits, your routines, your lifestyle supports it. And that's how you create a set point. But it's not really a set point, like a biological set point that you can lock in and throw away the key. It doesn't work that way. Don't let anybody convince you that it works that way.
I'm sure we're that easy.
And it can be changed.
Yeah.
And it can be, it can go out the window real quick.
That's why it's fun to like debunk things or produce the correct information.
Produce the correct information.
Yes.
That's correct. And I would also like to say, whenever I have an opinion on things or when I share things or debunk things, that is my opinion based on the information that is available at the time.
At the time. Now, something comes out 5 years from now, then okay.
Yeah.
Things are going to change.
Because things are going to change. You got to be open to that. But my information that I provide to you guys is based on what exists, the studies that exist, and what's true at the time of this recording. Anything is subject to change with more knowledge, more studies, more science, more research.
That's why they always want us up to date with our NASA.
Yeah, that's why. To keep your certification valid, you have to be up to date on the changes and the latest and greatest because things are always evolving. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.